Hey guys, Tobe here. It hasn't been 2 full years since I got my last laptop, and while I was just going to make another long ass post like I'd usually do sharing my big purchases, I decided to make it a video instead, because today I'm presenting a fucking MacBook. I don't know if you could tell, but I've been having a pretty shitty year, and we're only a quarter in 2026. The world fucking sucks, and it's mostly a handful of elite people that's causing all of this bullshit. My last semester is stressing me out, gas prices are high, the tech space is full of AI slop and never-ending price hikes. So many pieces of long-running media I invested so much of my time with have ended terribly, and my love for Simfigure is dwindling. There hasn't been much to look forward to these days. Now, this is gonna sound, weird and oddly dystopian, but one of the few things that have excited me in the last few weeks was Apple's announcement of the MacBook Neo, a laptop run by the iPhone 16 Pro's processor, supplied in a chassis very similar to the likes of the Air and Pro at a very insane price of $600, or $500 if you were a student or something. Considering the specs of the screen, keyboard, and the build being all metal, that's an absurd price. And out of all companies to bring a light to the dark times of shit being so expensive, it's fucking Apple. Now the Neo itself is something I probably would never get because it only has 8GB of RAM and a 60Hz display, but I became a lot more curious about MacBooks than I ever have. They're always regarded as the best of the best when it comes to laptops, but they're hella expensive. An M5 Air starts at $1,100, and the base M5 Pro starts at $1,700. I hear they have high resale value, so I bet older generations still go above $1,000 easily. Or so I thought. My heart kinda dropped when I found out that the 14-inch M1 Pro MacBook Pros have gone down to $600 on eBay. Well, they only have 16GB of RAM and 512GB of storage, which is not future-proof at all, but it's still a MacBook Pro. It has the 120Hz mini LED display, really good build quality, good keyboard, one of, if not the best trackpads around, insane battery life, and mind-blowing speakers. I was tempted to buy one the minute I saw a listing that had an additional coupon that brought the price down even further to $550, but I stopped myself, thought about how my current laptop was perfectly serviceable, with a huge caveat. I'm probably never going to use it after I'm done with school, since that's when I use a laptop 99% of the time, and macOS probably ain't it. I prevented myself from doing a very impulsive purchase, but with the upcoming weeks being full of shit, the MacBook Pro lingered in my mind. First of all, let's talk about my previous laptop. It's the HP Pavilion Plus 14. It can play GTA 5. It has an OLED 120Hz screen. I like the keyboard, it can do almost anything, and I got it at an unbelievable price of $480. However, it runs fucking Windows, and Linux not really an option as I still need my OneDrive for the last few weeks of my semester. It can do anything but DaVinci Resolve. But the cream of the crop is this inconsistent problem of screen flickering. At home, I never fucking see it. When I'm at school, where I use the goddamn thing the most, it flickers like a bitch. It's probably due to the fact that it's in my bag, and it's usually the first thing that impacts the floor when I drop my bag. But the annoying thing is that I can't replicate the problem on the fly, nor do I even know how to fix it. It kinda just fixes itself. It's very likely a display ribbon issue, but oh my god, opening this laptop's a fucking bitch. What can I say? I got myself an HP, and I'll probably never get another one ever again. But do I really need a MacBook? Like what I usually do when I contemplate about getting something that would hurt my wallet, I look at YouTubers and Redditors talking about their experiences instead. There's always good things and bad things people have to say about expensive stuff, but MacBooks usually get like 95% praise and 5% dissent for it being so goddamn expensive and not being upgradable. Shit was hitting the fan so hard, I thought about just getting a new MacBook at a great price of $1,800 that would probably set me for years. But how am I even supposed to know if I'm gonna like it or not? I needed a dopamine rush. Things that once made me happy were not hitting it. Not even a fruity alcohol drink was washing my woes away. The original MacBook Pro listing I saw was at its final few units in stock. It still had the 10% discount. I'm fucking getting it. I don't even know if the machine would even be in the greatest condition. I mean, the seller says it's like a C+ in condition. There's probably gonna be a dent or two. Maybe the screen has a scratch or something. Traveling from one coast to another in like 5 days, the MacBook arrives at my doorstep as soon as I come home from my class sprint demo that I've been dreading for weeks, and I was super excited. I haven't been this excited since, I don't know, maybe since catching up with Cinderella Grey. And whoo boy, I was cramming my pants as soon as I got it out of the box. Dents? Scratches? They're not there? Yeah, the laptop's pristine as fuck. When it came to setting it up for the first time, it was just like Linux. You go straight into the desktop and you're not bombarded with any fucking ads or any fucking AI. You can go straight to having fun, dicking around, and whatever. For the past week I've had this laptop, yeah, the praises are undeniably true. The hardware is the best of the best, and macOS, man, I love it much more than I expected. Let's go with the hardware first. As if I'm doing a new headphone test, I pulled YouTube up and listened to my to-go test song, Pegboard Nerds, Try This. And wow, my mind was pretty fucking blown. The screen is beautiful despite the notch. The trackpad, I said trackpad again, oh my fucking god. The trackpad is as good as everybody says it is. It's built like a tank. And the keyboard. It ain't my favorite, but it works. It just picks up grease way too easily. Compared to my Pavilion, which I always thought felt like a toy anyway, the difference is night and day. I bought the Mac for only $70 more, but one looks like $2 and the other one looks like $3,000. It's freaking giggity. And that's not even mentioning performance. Battery life is okay. It has 93% battery health and lasts like 8 hours on screen, which is like a few more hours than my older laptops, but I was expecting it to last like 12 or something. It charges decently fast, and all USB-C ports do support charging, which is nice. I don't think I've ever heard the fans, but the laptop can get warm at times, but I found it very viable using it on my lap on my bed due to ventilation being pushed to the side and the speakers facing up. My Samsung iPad is probably in danger. No, it's not. The M1 Pro with the 16GB of RAM, it's some pretty good shit, considering it's about to be 5 years old this year. I haven't done any benchmarks because so many of those exist already, but it is comparable to the 708040U of my previous laptop, and at least for now, the RAM has been enough, even though it shoots up to 10GB just having Firefox open, but somehow when I have Resolve, Minecraft, and 10 other applications open, yeah, it only took like another 3GB of RAM. That would probably cook my HP. The hardware can be all that, but what good does hardware do if the software is shit? macOS Tahoe has brought the best first impression of any new operating system I've dealt with. Windows, Android, Linux, and even iOS have I had pains setting up the device to fit my daily needs. Windows, iOS, and Android have so much fucking bloat, and 50% of things work out of the box for any Linux distro I've tried. Veteran Mac users have their qualms with Tahoe, but I kinda enjoy that this version of macOS is just iOS on steroids. The settings look exactly like an iPhone's. The UI is very much controversial liquid glass with so many goddamn rounded corners everywhere, but it's consistent. It's super fucking consistent, while Windows probably never will be. Installing apps is laughably easy as you download a .dmg file and it tells you to drag the icon to the applications folder, and the software that natively works with Apple Silicon, it just works. Firefox, Discord, Spotify, WebStorm, Minecraft, Steam, absolutely no problems. And then there's DaVinci Resolve. My HP couldn't run the app for shit. This video is entirely made on my MacBook Pro. That's the fucking difference. And again, I'm somehow not using swap memory when I'm doing all of this. I can do whatever the hell I want, even on the battery. Fucking Minecraft with shaders works better than my 7080-40U. I can run them at the same time if I really wanted to. Finally, it's an Apple device, so the synergy with other Apple devices is as magical as you expect it being. Pull up your AirPods, it knows to connect to the Mac. iMessage, phone calls, FaceTime work as if it's your iPhone. You could also just mirror your iPhone entirely if you really wanted to. No fucking cable required. This shit was so worth the impulsive spending of $550. The hype I had with my HP and my Legion Go can't even compare. It's not without any problems though. Keyboard shortcuts are a learning curve, with all control shortcuts using the command key instead, which is placed next to the spacebar instead to the very left, and the control button still exists, but it's not even in the very left anyway. The trackpad, I said trackpad for the third time, oh my fucking god. The trackpad is great at doing everything but trying to drag an icon from one side to another, and there are a lot of behaviors that are not native to Mac that require third-party software, and these third-party software can be costly. First of all, if you use a mouse, the scroll wheel and middle click don't work as you expect them to, like in Windows and Linux. Guess I gotta download something for that. Apps don't quit when you close them, but another piece of software can do that. Can I use a 3-finger click acting as a middle click? Again, more software. Now, this problem isn't native to Mac. I heavily customize Windows with a bunch of different scrapped together software, but my problem is that so many recommended solutions are paid. Some of them are $5 for what looks like it would be a few lines of code, and then there's Crossover, the to-go solution for running Windows applications on Mac. It costs $75 per year. Now I get it. You're delivering a solution that does cost money to develop and maintain. You want to make that bank to sustain yourself. But it is quite the culture shock when you consider that these kinds of fixes are usually free and open source on Windows, and quite obviously Linux. Emulators, downloaders, players, front-end UIs for these usually command line applications. They very much do exist for Mac OS. It just kinda annoys me that finding recommendations online usually brings me to a promising solution, only to find out that it says free trial 14 days on the homepage with the price and a /MO. I am stingy enough to be living with a problem, then spending $60 a year to alleviate it. That's just my 2 cents. I think I angered a Mac developer or two saying this. Overall, owning this MacBook for a few weeks has made me the brightest I've been in a while, and I hate how sad that sounds in the grand scheme of things. It's one of, hell, it's the best piece of software I've acquired in years, as it comes with almost no compromises, but I have to see how far the 16GB of RAM and the 512 gigs of storage space will take me. Otherwise, it's an endgame machine. I am not editing SRE 2025 with this, but I look forward to using it for hopefully a good amount of time, take it across the world with me in a few months, and by the time I'm thinking of potentially upgrading it, the MacBook Pro won't be the same goddamn thing for the 8th time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Toodles!